Today we're going to continue with the development of El Salón. The approach of today is to make a freehand perspective sketch, which is another example and perhaps another tool to visualize an architectural piece using your creativity, paper, and a pencil. The difference between a freehand perspective sketch and a regular 2D scale sketch is that the freehand perspective is three-dimensional, whereas the 2D scale sketch, as the name entails, is two-dimensional, as if looking from the roof of the structure. The three-dimensional nature of the freehand perspective sketch provides a few benefits. For one, you are able to not only see the length and the width of the structure, but also the height, which expands and refines your comprehension of the idea that you want to build, that you want to construct, that you want to design. You have more avenues and perhaps a new perspective to implement a new design and more creativity. It is worth mentioning, though, that the width in this drawing should not be taken that seriously, as it will most likely deviate from the accurate dimensions because of the expansion of the perspective. In this case, we're going to be using a 1 to 30 ratio scale, which means that 1 centimeter on paper will equal 30 centimeters in real life. And the reason for the increase in scale is because the 1:20 ratio scale will require a bigger drawing paper size, which we do not have. Therefore, as it is common in life and its obstacles, we will use our versatility to adjust and overcome such obstacles by increasing the scale to 130. This means that the 622 centimeters length, the 415 centimeters width, and the 226 centimeters height will be adjusted respectively to the 130 ratio scale, which makes the sketch 20.3 centimeters long, 13.8 centimeters wide, and 7.5 centimeters high. According to Drew Plunkett, author of the book titled Drawing for Interior Design, the vanishing point in a freehand perspective sketch must be 1600 millimeters above floor level and 1100 millimeters from the right hand wall, which in the case of the 130 ratio scale, it puts the vanishing point at 5.3 centimeters above the floor of the drawing and 3.6 centimeters to the right hand wall of the drawing. However, I'm going to be placing the vanishing point on the opposite side of the sketch since we want to prioritize the right hand wall, and this vanishing point location will do so. This will emphasize and perhaps extend the right hand wall, giving more visibility to it. This being my first architectural piece, my first endeavor into the architectural world, I'm going to be signing my signature, quite literally, on the wall of the structure. The figures on the wall represent the logo of my future firm, Damian Alfaro Architects, in which I emphasize the diversity and idiosyncrasy of creativity and art. Each of the figures have to fit within 100 centimeters by 100 centimeters square, except for the case of the rectangles, which will have dimensions of 200 centimeters by 30 centimeters in order to emphasize their appearance. On the right hand wall, which I like to call wall B, I'll be installing an 80-inch smart TV on top of wood. Such TV have dimensions of 177 centimeters long by 100 centimeters tall. I'm still debating with myself on whether I should paint the shapes of the room, by the way. That will depend on the availability of materials that could fit the room and can fit the nature and perhaps the environment of the room. Because I think that having the shapes painted will give a colorful environment to the room, but its seriousness will decrease. Which raises the question, is this room supposed to be serious or playful? I still need to do some research about it, but I will try to figure a way to paint the geometrical shapes in order to give a playful vibe to the room.